Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, Professor Kayode Adebowale, MNI FAS, I want to warmly welcome you to this Valedictory program, which is being held in honor of Professor Aderonke Baiyeroju. This program is scheduled to start by 11 o'clock, but I would like to crave your warm indulgence that we start a little bit late, that we're starting a little bit late. Once our distinguished personalities and principal officers of the University of Ibadan walk into the hall, we would start in earnest. So on that note, I want to warmly welcome you once again to this program, and I wish you a very, very pleasant experience. Can the ushers kindly lead our guests and principal officers of the university to their designated seats? Ushers, kindly lead the principal officers of the University of Ibadan and personalities who have been designated to sit on the platform, kindly lead them to their seat. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, I welcome you to this Valedictory program. Can we all rise as we take the anthems? We start with the anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, followed by the University of Ibadan anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before you take your seat, may I humbly request Reverend Baiyeroju Adeshina of New Covenant Church to step forward to say an opening prayer. Reverend Adeshina, please.
Can we pray, please? Dear Father, we thank you this morning for the grace that has gathered us together. Thank you for your daughter that you have brought from a very humble position to this exalted position. Lord, as we celebrate her, both her birthday and her retirement, we want to give you thanks for all these years and for concluding for her so gloriously. Lord, we commit all that will be done here today into your hands, that by your Holy Spirit, you will take absolute control, and all things will be done to the glory and praise of your name. All of us will be blessed, and most importantly, the celebrant. And at the end of all things, let your name alone be glorified. Thank you, our Father, for answered prayers. In Jesus Christ's name we have prayed.
If it's not too much for you to do, can you put your hands together to appreciate God who has given us grace to be alive today? Thank you. You may please take your seat. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's a delight to witness a day like this. And without much ado, I'm going to quickly recognize dignitaries that have graced this special occasion, which commemorates the consolidation of the meritorious years of service of Professor Aderonke Mojisola Baiyeroju. Ladies and gentlemen, the 13th Vice-Chancellor of our university, the first and best university in Nigeria, is here today to chair this occasion. Professor Coyote Adebowale, MNI, FAS, though unavoidably absent, is ably represented by the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Professor Peter Olamakide Olagbegba, a fellow of the Psychology Association of Nigeria. May I request that movement along the house should be kindly restricted so that we can stay focused on this program. And also, he is here today, warmly accompanied by the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Research, Innovation, and Strategic Partnerships of our university. Join me to welcome Professor Oluwayemise Bangoshe, a senior advocate of Nigeria. I have been struggling to resist the temptation of not calling Professor Aderonke Baiyeroju as I used to. I think I passed. Put your hands together for me. Ladies and gentlemen, the registrar of the university is also here today. Join me to welcome Mr. Ganiu Okesaliu. And also, it's my delight to acknowledge the presence of two of our living legends who have saddled the helms of affairs of our university in time past. We have the 10th Vice-Chancellor of our university at this occasion. Join me to acknowledge the presence of Emeritus Professor Olufemi Bamiro. I always like to introduce him as the Vice-Chancellor when it was 12 o'clock for the University of Ibadan. The 12th Vice-Chancellor of our university, Professor Abel Idowu Olayinka, FAS. And Mr. Chairman, Vice-Chancellor, may I also acknowledge the presence of the Provost of our College of Medicine, Professor Temidayo Ogundiran. The Dean, or before the Dean, we are delighted to have in our midst today the Chief Medical Director of the University College Hospital. Join me to acknowledge the presence of Professor Jesse Otegbayo, who is ably represented by the CMAC. Professor Additional, please put your hands together to acknowledge him. Okay, put your hands together to acknowledge him and her. Please appreciate it. And ladies and gentlemen, the Dean of the Faculty of Clinical Science, that's the faculty where our dear matriarch served until retirement. Join me to acknowledge Professor Taiwo Lawal. It's my honor to acknowledge the presence of some of our members of staff, one or two of them who saddled the membership of the council of our university. We have them, but I can identify particularly one of our members of the council of the University of Ibadan, Professor Aino Adiogun of FAS. Please join me to acknowledge her. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, we have a special guest of honor at this special occasion, and it's our delight to receive him in the College of Medicine of the University of Ibadan today, a chartered insurance broker and the chairman of Both and Company Insurance Brokers Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly acknowledge the presence of Chief Babajide Olatunde Agbeja. You would almost miss him because when you see Chief, you'll be expecting Agbada, but this is an academic chief. Please join me to acknowledge our special guest one more time. He's indeed dressed for the occasion. Our guest lecturer today is the head of ophthalmology of one of our sister universities, the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital. Join me to acknowledge Professor Dupe Ademola Pupola. The family where Professor Baiyeroju served, the department where our services were domiciled, is the Department of Ophthalmology of the College of Medicine. The head of that department is also here. Join me to acknowledge Professor T.S. Oluleye. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, we don't have much time today, so I will just acknowledge all the principal officers of the College of Medicine, the Deputy Provost, the College Secretary, the Financial Controller, and all the University College Hospital principal officers here present. And may I also acknowledge the presence of all provosts of the colleges within the University of Ibadan, deans of different faculties, particularly in the College of Medicine, directors of institutes, heads of department in the University of Ibadan, University College Hospital. I also believe there are past provosts of the College of Medicine here today. We celebrate your presence here, and past chief medical directors of the University College Hospital. And may I also kindly acknowledge the presence of all our retired dons and administrators who are here to receive Professor Baiyeroju into that esteemed estate. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, permit me to say they are ably represented by Dr. Gani Adeniran, one of our living legends here today. Members of the fourth esteem of the realm that are here today, thank you for coming, and particularly the family of the celebrant. And most importantly, the first man. You know, they say first lady. We are proud to be first men of successful women. Join me to acknowledge the presence of Brigadier General Akin Baiyeroju, retired. That's the first man here today. In the bank account of a successful man is the money of a successful, bank account of a successful woman is the money of a successful man. Please acknowledge and appreciate this man one more time. And of course, we duly acknowledge the presence of the celebrant's family, children, sisters, uncles. Thank you for gracing this occasion. All our special guests of honors, the chief launcher, the special guests and co-launchers, and here present, the book reviewers. When we get to that point, we'll duly acknowledge them. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dayo Olajide of the Directorate of Public Communications of the University of Ibadan. It's on that note, I would like to invite for a welcome address the head of the department. Okay, I'm being reminded that I'm goofing already. Maybe I'm feeling too much at home. I've not acknowledged the celebrant. You are all the acknowledgement of the fact that there is a celebrant, right? So we'll do it intentionally so that mommy will still greet me, Tayo, Baoni, as she does. Wow. All right. That's the point where we say the devil is a liar, right? Join me to acknowledge our celebrant of the day, the quintessential Professor Aderonke Mojisola Baiyeroju, Mama 70. Okay, if you want to live that long, you can rise up on your feet and appreciate her. Thank you very much. I want to specially thank the registrar for reminding me that's a boss that cares. I welcome for a welcome address the head of Ophthalmology Department, Professor T.S. Oluleye. Please, a round of applause for him as he comes forward.
The Vice-Chancellor, sir, ably represented by the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Administration, Professor Olakpegba. So, the other Deputy Vice-Chancellors present, including the Celebrant, who is still our Deputy Vice-Chancellor, and all Deputy Provosts of the Postgraduate College, the Deputy Provost, Secretary to the College, Financial Controller, the Medical Librarian, and other Principal Officers of the College, the Chief Medical Director, ably represented by the CMAC, Professor Adeshino, the Director of Administration and other Principal Officers of the University College Hospital Ibadan, the Dean, Faculty of Clinical Science, Professor Lawal, and all other deans, head of department, and directors, all professors, retired and serving, my elders in the profession, I can foresee. But without this push from her, many of us may not have attained what we have attained today. Please, let's give her a round of applause. Personally, I'm here today because of her intervention. I may not have been here. I'm just one of many with testimonies of her kindness and mentorship. Her contributions are enormous, from the establishment of Paediatric Ophthalmology subspecialty of West African College of Surgeons to her contribution to the growth of West African College of Surgeons in the sub-region, College of Medicine, and the University of Ibadan. We miss her in ophthalmology, faculty, and College of Medicine, and the university. Ma, we wish you happy birthday, happy retirement, in good health. We pray God to keep you and be gracious unto you. He will make his face to shine on you and grant you peace. I'd like to thank again Baba Baiyeroju, the most consistent sponsor of our eye outreach for the less privileged. We thank you, sir. We thank you. Our thanks again to our special guest of honor, Chief Agbeja, who is putting smiles on our faces in the eye clinic by providing solar energy to that eye clinic. Please, let's thank him very well. And the guest speaker for agreeing to give this special lecture. Finally, our LOC, led by the indefatigable Mary Ugalai. Another woman, another mama, Baiyeroju in the making, for their sleepless night to make today's event is for honoring our.
It's strange to call her mother in Israel. For those of us that have not been in Israel before, she's mother in Nigeria. So we appreciate you, ma. Maybe when we get to Israel, she will be our mother in Israel. Mr. Chairman, permit me to acknowledge the presence of the Vice-Chancellor of Cordially University, who has warmly joined us here today, Professor Adeni Olatubosun. And we have many shining lights who have been exported to other universities. We have loaned them out. One of them is also here today, the Vice-Chancellor of Christland University, Professor Arologun. Please join me to appreciate her. Where's Prof? She should be sitting in front here with the Vice-Chancellor of Cordially University. And also, may I acknowledge the presence of the Chairman of the Council of the Ladoke Akitola University, Ogbomoso, Professor Dejiomole. I saw him somewhere. Yes, Professor Dejiomole, we acknowledge your presence, sir. Right away, we move on to receive a special remark from the special guest of today's occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome Chief Babajide Olatunde Agbeja as she does that.
When you are amongst scholars and you are from the business world, I hardly ever know what protocol to follow. And unfortunately, I don't like the statement, all protocols duly observed. So I am at a loss as to how to start. But I'll do it my own little way, and I welcome all of you. I thank you. Remember, we're all equal in front of God. Yes, so my darling sister, my Ebo, thank you so much for inviting me as a special guest of honor. I can see, of course, the mentors of my sister in ophthalmology, Mrs. Oluri and Mrs. Oshuntokun, and then beside them, of course, also Mrs. Ashai. Thank you so much for guiding this lovely woman throughout her young life until she's now younger at 70. Of course, she looks 60. Down memory lane, I always had a lot of respect and high regard for University College Hospital. And when I was very young, we used to read in UCH. Unfortunately now, we are going abroad for treatment in foreign land. I dream that UCH will come back to its glory. It is my hope, and I know that it will start from the top, even in Abuja. Unfortunately, once government intervenes in anything, it flips upside down. So in my opinion, it is a private sector that must intervene in ensuring that UCH comes back on its feet and it comes back to excellence. Again, since I'm from the private sector, and I'll tell you a little story, with a little thanks to my wife. When COVID was about to start, Professor Laukwa sent me a message saying that I should please raise so much for them so that they can have a COVID center. And I was flabbergasted, I was upset. Where does he expect me to find such amount? But I got home, fortunately for me, I mentioned it to my wife, and then she just said, Babajide, it can be done. I said, what do you mean? Did anybody call you? Why are you? I don't want to do it. She said, we will do it. And I phoned my sister, Otumba Debola Oshibogun, and she just took it on. And within 24 hours, she had told her friends. So I was forced now to accept it. And you won't believe it, within 72 hours, we got what Professor Laukwa wanted. And that was what started the COVID clinic in UCH. So from then, I believe that God wanted me to keep touching UCH. So the little that we did in ophthalmology is just something so little, and by God's grace, we will continue to support. But again, I just dream. We all must put our hands together for UCH to come back up. How we are going to do it, I can see one of my boss, Professor Shokumbi, nodding his head that yes, because we discuss about this a lot. Yes, we can do it. We have to do it. There are too many young ones that look up to receiving treatment from this outstanding institution, and may it continue to stay outstanding. So this is only the beginning. Of course, on behalf of my sister, the family will still do something for UCH, and we will continue to do something. Congrats, sis. Happy birthday. Thank you very much.
Please appreciate our special guest of honor one more time. It's on rare occasion you have people like that handing the microphone over to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we move on quickly to hear from the helmsman of our university, the 13th Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, who is ably represented here today by his Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration. Join me to welcome Professor Peter Olamakide Olakpegba as he comes up to give the Vice-Chancellor's speech. Please, if you want to clap, if it's not for sale, please appreciate my VC.
The chairman, Chief Olatunde Agbeja, said he's not given to protocol, and I apologized ahead. Well, in the university, we observe protocol. But then the protocol here today is so convoluted that even myself, I have to be very careful. So I'm asking you to, in advance, to forgive me if I mix it up. The chairman of today's occasion, and also the brother of the celebrant, Chief Olatunde Agbeja, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Research, Innovation, and Survey Partnerships, Professor Mr. Bamboshe, the Registrar of our university, Mr. Gani Okesaliu, our guest lecturer, the 10th Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, Professor Olufemi Bamiro, and the one that became the Vice-Chancellor when year was 12 o'clock. Only we don't know whether it is 12 noon or 12 midnight. Professor Ibel Idowo Lainga, other Vice-Chancellors there present, the Vice-Chancellor of Kolada IC, my friend and brother, Professor Latubosu, the Vice-Chancellor of Christian University, my personal person, Professor Oyeduni Arulogu, the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council, Ladoke Akisola University, Professor Ayodeji Omole, the CMD ably represented, our living ancestors who are in this hall today. I've seen Professor Mokodion, I've seen Professor Ilesomi, a former CMD. I've seen Professor Temitayo Shokumbi, a former provost of the college. I can see Dr. Gani Adenino, a former member of council. And of course, those ones, I use them as point of contact to all living ancestors in this hall. And of course, I see a former provost too, Professor Omigwado. Deans of our faculties and dean of students, too numerous to be mentioned. And of course, heads of department, both in the university and the UCH. The husband, the other half now of the honoree, Brigadier General Baiyeroju, retired but not tired, Baba Bayi. Gentlemen of the press, of course, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academy designates Professor Juwan Rotiba. Of course, Professor Bakar is also there. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today we gather with profound respect and heartfelt gratitude Professor Aderonke Mojisola Baiyeroju, and of course, a sprinter and hodler. Our esteemed Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic, who gracefully concludes a service to a great institution as a 13th female professor of ophthalmology in Nigeria and a beacon of excellence in clinical sciences. Her legacy transcends disciplines and generations. Born on 13 August 1955, he joined the service of the University of Ibadan in 1987, promoted senior lecturer in 1990, reader in 1995, and a full professor in 1998. She's an academic par excellence, and she has demonstrated excellence in leadership and scholarship. Professor Baiyeroju's contributions to Ibadan spanned over 3 decades, marked by transformative leadership and unwavering dedication. He is a teacher of teachers and a professor of professors. Of course, he has over 1,000 citations with an impressive H index and I-10 index. He is indeed a trailblazer in administrative rule. She was Deputy Provost College of Medicine 2006-2010, where she championed infrastructural and curricular innovations. She was head Department of Ophthalmology between year 2000 and 2003, elevating global recognition of pediatric eye care research. She is, at least until 12 midnight, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic, where she has spearheaded initiatives to enhance teaching quality, student success, and accreditation excellence. Of course, you need to see the way she handles the student. It's like a mother hen, always looking out to protect their interests. She had made impact globally and nationally. As a member of Governing Council, West African College of Surgeons, from 2003, I think, till now, an honorary treasurer from 2013 to 2021, where she advanced surgical education across West Africa. At the global level, she was WHO and Lions Club consultant for eliminating childhood blindness, impacting thousands of young lives in Nigeria. She has pioneered research in several fronts, leaving behind a legacy of light and vision. Professor Baiyeroju's scholarly work redefined ophthalmology in Africa with landmark studies. Her research on pediatric cataract, retinopathy of prematurity, ROP, and glaucoma generated groundbreaking protocols to early diagnosis and treatment in resource-limited settings. Notable projects include developing Nigeria's first ROP screening toolkit at University College Hospital, Ibadan. I think she deserves an applause for that. He is a consummate ophthalmologist. On several occasions, we'll be sitting after either a room or a hall or an office, and somebody will walk in and she will say, mankind, that fellow is squinty. I will say, Kilo Loju. She will spot it and she will mention it. And of course, she will also spot lenses that are dirty. Say, look at that man, the lenses are dirty. He should clean. I always tell her, Mama, lemon. Of course, mentorship legacy is commendable. They have supervised over 25 postgraduate students, including PhD scholars, like Dr. Olusoya, whose thesis on infant blindness screening won international acclaim. She has numerous publications and seminar papers in journals like European Journal of Ophthalmology, that's highly rated, and BMC Ophthalmology, cementing U.S. leadership in global health. She mentors by grace, resilience, and compassion. Beyond accolades, Professor Baiyeroju's humanity defined her leadership. She has unshakable integrity, with which she has navigated administrative challenges with wisdom, notably during uses, where her advocacy secured resources for dentistry and medical education. It's involved in student-centered advocacy. As Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic, he prioritized inclusive learning, ensuring programs like Ready, Set, Work align with national development. A mantra, when faculties thrive, the university advances. Anytime there was going to be a disruption to calendar, she said, no, mankind, no, we can't, no, we should have it. The session should take off, she's very passionate and very concerned about a stable academic calendar. We can talk of our personal fortitude. Balance pioneering research with compassionate patient care, embodying UI's motto, recte sapere fons, for knowledge and sound judgment. To think straight is the fount of knowledge. A farewell tribute. Of course, I'm standing here with very mixed emotion because I'm going to miss quite a lot of things about her. You will always come to knock on my office. Oh, Peter, I wanted to check whether you are around. How are you doing? And all of that. The torchbearer's legacy. As we bid farewell, we reflect on our indelible imprints. Professor Baiyeroju taught us that true leadership is the alignment of passion with service, where vision meets with action. Our retirement closes a chapter, but our legacy endures forever. And of course, may I tell you that she's retiring from a career today, but she's starting a new career from tomorrow. And that career is named retirement. The thousands of UI graduates whose lives she touched, future doctors, engineers, and leaders. The institutional ethos of excellence she embodied. We are UI. We are proud. It's a new dawn. To our Iron Lady of Ophthalmology, your journey began with a commitment to healing young eyes. Today, you leave us with a university and a world that sees more clearly because of your light. As you step into this new phase and this new career, may your days be filled with joy, adventure, and the knowledge that you transformed lives. Thank you, Professor Aderonke Mojisola Baiyeroju, the University of Ibadan. Salutes you. Thank you.
Please join me one more time to appreciate the DVC admin, Professor Peter Olamakide Olapegba, who is representing the Vice-Chancellor in his capacity as the DVC. They are waving. We clap for Professor Adeogun. I'm fine now, right? Thank you very much. If she says I'm fine, your opinion is irrelevant. She says I'm fine, your opinion is irrelevant. Up until retirement, Professor Baiyeroju, International School Ibadan, management and staff of
Ibadan, between the prestigious first and best medical school in Nigeria. College Deputy Provost of the College of Medicine from October 2006 to the College of Medicine from October 2006 to July 2010, and the Chair July 2010, and the Chair of the Faculty of Ophthalmology, West African College of Surgeons WACS from January 2003 to January 2007. She also served as Chief Examiner, Council Member, Treasurer,
Okay, thank you very much. They got carried away by the beautiful documentary. Apologies. For those of you that are planning to retire and you plan to do something like that, please, when it is being beamed, don't stand up like this athletic woman here. She was quick to jump up. If Professor Baiyeroju wasn't a researcher, she's most likely going to be first a broadcaster. Do you agree with me? And probably an athlete. Maybe she will be the chairman of Sport Federation of Nigeria or something. Please, another round of applause for this iconic figure here today. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite to read the citation of the valedictory lecturer, Dr. S.I. Olaniyan, before we listen to Professor Dupe Ademola Popola. Please, a round of applause for him as he comes up.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. May I crave the indulgence of the chairman to stand on an existing protocol? So I'll be reading the citation of our guest lecturer today, Professor Dukpe Ademola Popoola. She earned her medical degree from the University of Lagos in 1991 and completed her ophthalmology residency training at the University of Lagos Teaching Hospital and the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital in 2001 with the dual fellowship of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria and the West Africa College of Surgeons. She has served as a board member in the colleges and faculty, as well as a third segment member of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria. She is the head of ophthalmology at the University of Ilorin and a professor of ophthalmology at the same institution. She has been a consultant ophthalmologist at the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital since 2001. Dr. Ademola Popoola has dedicated her career to capacity building in ophthalmology globally, particularly in pediatric ophthalmology and ocular oncology, where she has had further trainings at the best hospitals in several countries around the world, including India, Egypt, the United Kingdom, and the United States of America. She established the Pediatric Ophthalmology and Strabismus Specialty and the Retinoblastoma Service at the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital in 2007. The center is a major service referral center in Nigeria. She served as Treasurer, Secretary, Director Education, and Chairman of the Nigerian Pediatric Ophthalmology and Strabismus Society, NIPOS. She was also appointed a professional mentor in pediatric ophthalmology by the Institute of Child Eye Health at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, and was there a part of the Retinopathy of Prematurity Network, ROP network, as well as the Retinoblastoma Network, RB network. As a great ambassador of the American Academy of Ophthalmology, AAO, which is the largest ophthalmology group with over 32,000 members, she won the Secretariat Award, Achievement Awards, served on the One Network and Global Education Boards, and contributed educational materials to Ophthalmology, News, and Education Network. She has been a regional advisor, global advisor, and currently a member board of trustees of the American Academy of Ophthalmology. At the American Association of Pediatric Ophthalmology and Strabismus and the International Pediatric Ophthalmology and Strabismus Council, she currently serves as co-chair of the Executive Committee of the Retinopathy of Prematurity Focused Stop Infant Blindness in Africa as SIBA Initiative, and is a member also of the International Pediatric Eye Care Training Committee, IPET. She was a member of the International Expert Committee that reviewed and published the International Classification of Retinopathy of Prematurity in 2021 and has contributed to several international publications on retinoblastoma. She's a technology-driven professional, has been a telemedicine user, trainer, and advocate since 2007, and was instrumental in bringing the Orbis Flying Eye Hospital and hospital-based program to Ilorin in 2011. She's very well cited and published in reputable journals. Professor Ademola Popoola leads multiple initiatives on retinoblastoma, retinopathy of prematurity, pediatric ophthalmology, and training across sub-Saharan Africa. She contributed to training curriculum development and is involved in training programs for the International Council of Ophthalmology, West Africa College of Surgeons, Nigerian Pediatric Ophthalmology and Strabismus Society, National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria, as well as the Post-Basic Nursing Ophthalmic Program. With respect to key contributions and legacy work, Dr. Ademola Popoola, a child and family vision care advocate, has led several pioneering initiatives including use of lasers and chemotherapy for vision salvage in retinoblastoma and retinopathy of prematurity. Kwara Childhood Site Protection Law 2013, which is the first of its kind in Nigeria. The use of intra-arterial chemotherapy as well as intravitreal chemotherapy for retinoblastoma treatment in Nigeria. Establishment of vision screening for children at immunization clinics. Established community vision care services across several regions in Nigeria. Vision screening for school children by teachers using the TELVIS screening kit, as well as development of a vision screening and referral app, also known as the DUPCP TEL-I application. She's also been involved in the production of surgical mannequins for training of future ophthalmologists. Beyond ophthalmology, Dr. Ademola Popola served as Director, Computer Services and Information Technology at the University of Ilorin, overseeing digital transformation of an institution with over 56,000 students and staff from 2020 to 2023. She holds a Master's in Divinity and participated in the Advanced Leadership Program at the Haggai Institute in Maui, Hawaii, USA in 2011. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our guest lecturer today, Professor Dukpe Ademola Popola.
Thank you so much for the very long citation. Good afternoon, ma'am. The Holy Book says, train up a child the way he should go. When he is old, he will not depart from it. And that is the reason today, I will first of all bring greetings. Where is the slide? Show my slide. Aha. I will bring greetings from the other campus of University of Ilorin. University of Ibadan. I bring you very warm greetings from University of Ilorin and University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital. Before I do the courtesies, I have 3 visions for today. And I can see that God has already answered one of the prayers. And that's why I'm leaving these slides for some time. Thank you so much, sir, for the much you said. One of my prayers, my reasons for putting together these slides today is that I want to see a completed eye complex at UCH. So whatever I say today, everybody should be thinking about what can I do to make it happen. This is where I work. And for being an extension of UI, it's too late in the day. That UI hasn't got one yet. And it shouldn't happen. So I think I can go to the courtesies. The protocol has been very well established. But I was trained, that's why I said train up a child that I must always do protocol. While I may not read through everything, I want to say thank you, ma, for the privilege that you gave me to stand on your broad shoulder. That she gave me almost a 1-year notice for this lecture. I want to say thank you for teaching and training us, and for showing our husbands how to do it. Thank you, ma. Thank you, sir, for your money in our bank account. That's how we do it. I appreciate it. I want to again recognize the Vice-Chancellor who is ably represented here and every other Vice-Chancellor here, past and present, the principal officers that I have told I will be like them when I grow up, Provost College of Medicine, past and present, special guest of honor of today, leading this initiative on the eye complex, as I can see, the Chief Medical Director of UCH, other management staff, Dean of the faculty, other deans, our revered teachers in particular. When I came in this morning and I saw our great-grandmother in ophthalmology, Professor Onyolurin and Professor Olabo Oshutokun, I knew I had to do well. And then Professor Ashaye came in. Thank you so much, Ma, for all you did for us. I will try my best to do like you taught us. And I have so many other teachers here that I especially recognize. In 1996, I was a Chikwini resident like this when I came to UCH. Because your other campus at the time did not have accreditation. So our generation had to go everywhere. Lagos, I was in Lagos, in UCH, in Kaduna, to be able to finish residency. So I have many teachers here. But I especially recognize Professor Tayo, the neurosurgeon. He delivered me many times from troubles. I recognize you, sir. Thank you, and many other teachers that I have here. Professor Shokunbi, I recognize you. Head of Department of Ophthalmology, my dear brother, other staff of UI and UCH, other professors, directors of various units, heads of other departments, NIPOS members here present, all other academics and non-academic staff and students, your Royal Highnesses, my Lord, spiritual and temporal scholars, I believe we have them, and alumni of this university, gentlemen of the print and electronic media, our father again, and other family members, but allow me to specially recognize Professor Motosho, who is my turning from Ilorin, who is in-law to the Baiyeroju, and our own dear Olufunto, and Ayokumi, who was my boyfriend before Olufunto came. I recognize you, and Funto, thank you for looking after him for us. I'll continue the title of my lecture is Vision Begins Early, Building Statewide System for Pediatric Eye Care in Oyo State. From what you have heard, you know that she's done so much work already. So my second prayer is to see that everyone here lives to see how they build on this, so that even in retirement, she would continue to participate and also hear and be happy. I looked at the website of Oyo State and I saw their vision is to provide excellence in health and wellness for the whole people through teamwork. They have this number of institutions listed on their website. I picked the tertiary centers as they listed because it's essential to what I'll be discussing. Vision begins early. I would like to say to anyone who wants to see well, to support eye care in children. And why is this important? A child is really unlikely to complain of vision problem. Someone needs to find it. The eye may be normal while having very severe visual impairments, and it may be too late to wait, because in kids, there's a critical period when we must do what we need to do to restore optimal vision. But more importantly, it's because of the dual benefit model that comes with supporting child eye care. A child typically will not come alone to the hospital. And the experience we have is that when a child comes, that child becomes the roots of finding problems, other eye problems in that family. And everybody becomes healthy because they have brought a child. So, it's family vision care. And it's really enlightening, uplifting, and progressive for any family. And you already have things established in your state through the great work she has done. It's a low-hanging fruit. I would like to draw our attention by telling a few short stories. Imagine that we can relate with this. A 24-year-old mother, an accountant, the husband, an engineer. They both work in what we call blue chip company. Their first child born at 28 weeks. And within 4 months of life, that child is already blind. Yes, we can relate with it. And these stories are all practical life stories. Or what about this 5-year-old? You know, we send children to school early. And the parents are wondering why the child cannot read 1 to 3, cannot read ABCD. They take teacher for 4-year-old. The child still cannot read. And then they assume she must be dull. Then one day, they heard over the news that there was an outreach somewhere, and we were telling them what are the possible ways a child will manifest poor vision. And they brought the child. And we did a refraction, and it was a -12. My glasses, they are just plus 250 at this point. Imagine what a 12 would be for a child. That child will need to bring anything this close to be able to see. And I give a pair of glasses, and that child became the best in mathematics. Was it dullness? No, it was the eye. The father, an engineer, the mother, a teacher. Another one, very rich family members. If I look well now today, we will find they have said she taught us how to look, and the eyes, 4 family members with strabismus, like we can see here. 4 family members, the eyes are like this, and they've told them that these eyes can only be straightened in Australia. It's a lie. It can be done in UCH and in many other parts of Nigeria. From that child that came, 4 other family members got their eyes straightened, and everyone is happy. What about this one? That disc like this, paper white practically, glaucoma loading. And from that child, you can trace other family members with glaucoma and able to save them from a lifetime of blindness. That's pretty much how it goes. So therefore, everyone here today, I'm sure, you will leave planning to ensure that every eye you meet on the road look like this one. Straight, center, steady eyes, and the back of the eye looking beautiful, pink disc, and lovely. And we all have a responsibility. Even God did his own by ensuring that the eyes are well protected. As an extension of the brain, the eyes tells a lot of story, whether it's in a child or in an adult, because it reflects what happens in the body. If somebody has sickle cell, uncontrolled hypertension, diabetes, the person, you will know from the eye. So the eye actually is an extension, and it tells a lot of good stories. When the eyes functions correctly, a child will not be bumping into things when crawling. And so some parents will say, "Chori nasha," but the child is not knowing. It's just simply like that, you know. So they won't be going close to watch TV and all of that. That is what we expect. Vision contributes about 83% to learning in early life. Even phonation is by watching an adult that a child learns to speak. So when vision has problem, many things will get delayed. They will not work on time, even when the limbs are good, because when they make the first effort and bumps into things, the child learns to sit down. Eating will become problematic, expressive language is delayed, and other learning skill. I just told us some of the things that may point to poor vision in a child: short attention span, poor handwriting, they don't want to play with their colleagues, they bring book close up to the face, and on, or they keep rubbing the eye. They point, please look at your child and be sure that grandchild that they don't have that problem. Who is affected? Which children are affected? All. Rich and the poor, you know? And so from a child born premature to the older child can all be affected by visual impairment. And suffice to know that there are consequences when it happens. Not only is it that one of such children will die within 2 years, about 90% of them don't go to school. And when they don't go to school, someone must be there to guide them, to look after them. So we will be expanding the cycle of poverty just because of visual impairment in one child. These pictures tell a lot of story. You know, we're used to seeing adults being like a child. But if you look carefully, this one behind is an older child leading a blind younger child. So for one poor vision, at least 2 lives and future would be compromised. It's so important that the world is interested. WHO says that childhood blindness contributes to 1/3 of the total impact of blindness in the world. And so they made it important. In fact, United States has what is called Child Blindness Program Initiative. That is a congressional initiative. Every year they must vote money to it. And we have used this privilege to run several initiatives even in Nigeria here. Likewise in UK and so many other parts of the world. What about in our dear country? If you go to a community, if you can put all blind people together, back then, before our economy became what it is now, 7 out of 10 people begged because of poor vision, because they were blind. If you put 7 people together who are blind, 10 people together who are blind, 7 had been blind from childhood. And 8 of these 10 have never been examined by anyone. And most of the reasons, about 80% of the reasons they are blind are completely avoidable, meaning they could be treatable or prevented. We looked at our issues in Nigeria, and we found out that children who are born premature, who are eligible to have screening, between 4 and 8 out of 100 will become blind if nothing is done to treat it in the first 2 months of life, because they are usually not born with blindness. It develops after birth within the 4th and about the 7th week of life. When we looked at pediatric cataract, we saw that about 38% of cataract that we operate in children occur as a result of trauma. Does that tell us? Many of us run school here. I'm happy there's a school well represented. When a child is beaten on the head, you know, when a child is not supervised at play, they are allowed to do whatever they want with sling and many things. Then they are at the risk of trauma. You can imagine taking away 38% of what we do if by just controlling trauma. We looked at distribution of disability in Nigeria using a child blindness program funding of the United States Agency for International Development in 2019. And we looked at the whole country. Every school registered by government. We looked at children who had disability, and I will tell you what that showed. About 26,000 children were registered by our team. 14% of these had some visual problem. That was the reason they were in the school. About 63% because of deafness and mental challenges in the others. What about the Oyo State? Because we are in Oyo today. Oyo State, for distribution of such children in Nigeria as a whole, had about 9.3% of the whole in our dear Oyo State. What about the ones that were blind? Again, 9.2%. 238 were in different schools in Oyo State. Remember what I said, that 90% don't go to school. So if there are 239 or so in school, that showed us how many who are not in school. 90% of that number. That would be about another 2,000. Low vision, about 5% of the national, and for deafness, 5%. If you look at all the disabilities, you'll see that in Oyo State, visual problem topped the list, contributing about 9.3% to what it is nationally. The story from of old. In the past, when we were growing up, there used to be one adage, Oyutoma tale kontaro shepin. Did I say it well? Thank you very much. Because children will pick things in the course of coming out of the womb, and then they have this child. But over time, with contribution of many stakeholders, that has largely become stories. We no longer have many of this happening in our country. In other words, the story I'm bringing today about children, vision starting early, if we contribute again, we'll be able to solve many of the problems like we did for this and for this. Vitamin A deficiency was a lot of problem in far past when we did not have measles, immunization. Children became blind like this. We still have a few of them, but very far apart, not like before. So nowadays, what do they become blind from? This picture tells some story. Some of them have squints and they lose vision in one eye as a result of what we call amblyopia, lazy eye. We have problem from the front of the eye that we call cornea. We have retinopathy of prematurity. We have cataracts in children. We have glaucoma in children. We can see that more than 60% of this eye has been lost. The white one, they are the ones that have been lost. And then we have the cancers that almost invariably, not only does it take vision, it takes life. And for many of these, we can do something about them, all of us. Generally speaking, I picked this from the Telvis kit and the app, Dupsy Peterly High app. Anyone can identify this and refer a child, you know, because they look abnormal or the behaviors are abnormal. If a child is frowning all the time, they are just trying to see better. It's not that that child is wicked. So he got to squeeze the eyes a bit to see. Because I was in the school and the teacher said, maybe you need to start taking sugar. Every time you're always frowning. And we did refraction, it was -6. You know, so when we see such things, I'm happy there are teachers here who will help us make sure that we send the child. So why focus on Oyo State? We know the reason. Oyo was leading in many things, including pediatric ophthalmology. This our mama, she came back pointing to that. And the Federal Ministry of Health already has rolled out a lot of initiatives. Why would Oyo not continue to lead? And it's strategically placed. You have the institutions as listed here that can do a lot of wonderful things. You have 3 or 4 pediatric ophthalmologists of only 35 in the country. That's a huge one. That's why even though she's retiring, you must use digital health to keep her working. I hope Daddy will agree. You know? So what do we need to do quickly in Oyo State? We must leave none behind. From the baby born premature, and I'm happy our daddy is here, the obstetrician, to ensure that those kids, they try to make them be at least 34 weeks before they are born. But whether they try or not, we will still have a few that will still be born under 34 weeks of pregnancy. Those ones must be examined within 4 weeks of life, not go and see this later when they are already blind. This week, we recorded one, somewhere I should not mention. You know, it happens again and again. The ones that are toddlers, Immunization clinic presents us opportunity to examine them. Or just even let the mother know that if there's a problem, you can go somewhere. The ones in school, already teachers are empowered to be able to screen, and those ones in schools for children with special need. Beyond all of this, Oyo State has got to have a policy that is backed by budgetary provision to support this initiative. This is a summary of what must be done. We must continue to have human resource development. Someone is stepping out. How many will come in? We must develop a structure. We must use everyone, because everyone can do something. Anyone who can read, can write, can check vision, even in children. Rehabilitation must be part of it. The example we have was mentioned during the citation. Since 2013, Kwara State has what is called Child Side Protection Law. Oyo got to have one and back it with budget. Human resources, everyone, all our schools, they should know this problem and be trained to do very simple things that can make them get a child to come to the hospital quickly. Massive public family-directed health promotions. Our studies show that in over 85% of cases, family already knew that there are problems. So if we just let them have pictures, they will know that they have problems to tackle, and they will know where to go to tackle them. These are some of the things we put everywhere. Plus, those are more sustainable than handbills. You know, just hang them everywhere in schools, at clinics, and then they see it, and then they send the child. Again, infrastructure. I know Professor Oluleye is been crying to get his laser fixed. It should not be. I hope nobody that his laser is not working. It should not happen. When that happens, it doesn't have a laser working, you'll be having problems like this in this picture. We have already shown what the normal looks like. I believe when I leave this place today, somebody will be saying, if you just give him $7,500, he will buy the LIO he needs, not the whole laser. He just needs an attachment. The whole laser will be over $40,000. We started an initiative around the country whereby a camera is going around a few institutions. We have one currently going between Lagos and Ibadan, and the logistic is really difficult. Going to 3 centers in Lagos and UCH. And if we just invest $50,000, there will be one in UCH. I have in my own center. You can have in this place. That was the camera that I was presenting to CMD of LUT, and he said to me when I showed him, this camera will be going to many centers. He said, oh, they didn't tell me they need one. Is the CMD of UCH going to say that today? They didn't tell me they need one, so that they can have one. Digital and family, you know, this generation we are in, everybody has a phone. We can use digital to do a lot of things. I believe there are people from the government of Oyo State who can talk to somebody to set up corridors, vision corridors in schools, in different places. People can take picture and you say, Mama, you are retired, but look, we pay you for every picture you see. Is that not a good thing? And then she'll be able to give advice and then refer if necessary. All these, they are possible. In these days of AI, we can do a lot. And at the Federal Ministry of Health, I have the website here and the resources. Massive support is available to people to know what to do and how to do it. We need to key in Oyo State. Our schools need to be able to check every child. When they are going to get into school, as anyone, not just write 6/6 when they come to your clinic and you have done nothing. Let's ensure that that is done. We have this service kit that can assist us. And rehabilitation, whether we like it or not, will continue to be needed. Already, this map is on this website that we created after the grant we did. The website is active, it's alive. It shows Oyo State. There's so many schools doing some rehabilitation work there. Once you click on it, it gives you the address of the school, what they do and everything, and the eye centers. All of us should do something to ensure that children continue to see and adults take advantage of that. What should be our implementation roadmap? I'm assuming that even if the governor or the commissioner is not here today, they will get to hear because someone here is related to someone. 0 to 6 months, let's do stakeholder engagement and gap analysis, and she's done it before. She can help them to do it again, especially in retirement. They should pilot newborn and school screening as like a government initiative, not just individuals running grants, you know what I mean, for it to be sustainable. And over 3 months later, it should expand to all the local government area, and in 5 years, it should become institutionalized. We would like to say that the most institutionalized child care program is in Oyo State. So in summary, what have I said over the last 28 minutes since I stood here is that we need a sustainable eradication of avoidable blindness in children. And they are very easy to achieve through policy, legislation, advocacy, public awareness, task shifting, early detection efforts, early intervention research. And when we do that, we will ensure that no longer will the future of several children be lost because a child is born blind or a child develops blindness. Because whether we like it or not, when that child grows and becomes an adult, there are 2 children who take turn every day to lead that person about or to stay with the one that is at home. We all can avoid it and give good vision to our children. I will end by giving massive gratitude to everyone who will do something about this talk today. Who will go and say, I have $1,000. I want to contribute to what is already being done in UCH that we can achieve quickly. I can raise funds for that eye center. It took my hospital about 2 years to build it because we will not let them rest. So when they don't allow you to rest, don't chase them back. We are lagging behind in UCH. It is in every state in this country, from Lagos to bringing Kebbi. Did I not show that one of Kebbi? How come? And Kebbi is a very small state, small hospital. They have an eye center. It is in Ife, just next door, and the extension of your campus in Ilorin. I want to thank you because I believe not only have we listened, we will do something about it. Thank you very much.
If you believe that was insightful, please keep clapping for her until she takes her seat. Thank you. You may please take your seat. Apparently, we can't expect anything less because she had 1 year to prepare. I think I deserve a round of applause. I had just 2 months to prepare. Ladies and gentlemen, another big round of applause for our lecturer today for such an insightful one. I'm going to pay more attention to my children now. And I don't know the number of the glasses I use, but I know I see better when I use it. I should see them. I'm seeing everybody, so I'll see them particularly. Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on quickly. Our matriarch here today says it's 2 hours, but mommy, it's not our fault. You have too many children. And one of them is here representing all of them. We have the president of the Student Union of the University of Ibadan, Covenant Odedele. So he's the president, we are the citizens. And ladies and gentlemen, I must particularly acknowledge the presence of all the former provosts of the College of Medicine. I thought I could just put everything together, but it's apparent there are many icons in this place, and my hand is shaking right now. But just, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, just allow me to acknowledge the presence of, in no particular order, I know we have 6, 7, 8, all sorts of numbers, but I'll start with Professor Oladosu Ojengbede. Please put your hands together. Thank you, sir. We also have here today Professor M.T. Shokunbi. You see why I had to acknowledge? They are sitting together, doing their elderly high to me one kind, and I think I'm safe now. Professor A.O. Omigbodun, who is also seated there. And this particular woman, Professor Olayinka O. Omigbodun, particular provost. I'm Mr. Vice-Chancellor, the chairman of the Governing Council of Edo State University, who is also a former provost, Professor Olusegun Akinyinka. And also Professor Olaopa. Please put your hands together. And Mr. Vice-Chancellor, also permit me to acknowledge the presence of one of our shining lights from the Department of Civil Engineering. Is the chairman of the Governing Council of Federal College of Education, Okene, Professor Akinwale Koka, please. And let me come to my domain. If I don't do this, I doubt if I'm going to step into my office this afternoon. She's a former registrar of our university, a matriarch and astute administration. Do you want me to acknowledge the presence of Mrs. Omotayo Ikotun? And we have our deputy registrars, senior deputy registrars splashed all over this auditorium today. Please, a round of applause for them. Thank you very much. We are going to do something very quickly. We're going to present a plaque to the guest lecturer. And to help us to do that is no other person but our special guest of today's occasion. I would like to invite Chief Babajide Olatunde Agbeja to present the plaque to our guest lecturer. Thank you.
Madam Guest Lecturer has given me a new role, a new name, but that would come later, Madam. But right now, I am standing here to appreciate you for your excellent one-year planning that came out today. So to the young ones, or even to the old ones that are still studying, you need to do your homework very well. And once you do the right thing at the right time, it would come out excellently, just like Madam has done. On behalf of the Department of Ophthalmology, Faculty of Clinical Sciences, College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, Award of Excellence presented to Professor Dukpe Ademola Pokwola in recognition of your brilliant, thank you, in recognition of your brilliant and outstanding contribution as a guest lecturer at the public lecture in honor of my darling sister, Professor Aderonke Mojisola Baiyeroju, 70th birthday and retirement on this day, 13th August 2025. Thank you very much for the excellent presentation, Madam.
Thank you very much. We are going to adjust the order of events slightly. We're going to take item 12 now, then bring item 15 forward before we move on with our special guest of honor, Chief Olatunde Agbeje, to kindly step forward one more time as I invite Professor Oluleye to present his plaque to him.
On behalf of the Department of Ophthalmology, Faculty of Clinical Sciences, College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, I hereby present this award in recognition of your contribution to the Department of Ophthalmology, College of Medicine. On this special occasion, when we are sending off Professor Aderonke Baiyeroju, we thank you for what you have done for the department. And there is no other time to thank you. And we know that you will still continue to support the Department of Ophthalmology. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Well, we move on to the goodwill messages right away. And to take the first shot is the Provost of the College of Medicine, Professor Ogundero, please. A round of applause for him as he comes forward.
The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, ably represented by the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration, Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academics, Deputy Vice-Chancellor RISP, the Registrar of the University of Ibadan, the Chief Medical Director of the University College Hospital, ably represented by the CMAC, Chairman Medical Advisory Committee, and the CMAC in our own right, as a member of this community, the Provost of the Postgraduate College, University of Ibadan, members of the management of the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, Dean of the Faculty of Clinical Sciences, and all other deans in the College of Medicine and the University of Ibadan. Members of Council of the University of Ibadan here present, our special guest of honor, former Vice-Chancellors, Provosts of the College of Medicine, former CMDs, and other Vice-Chancellors of other universities here present today, all members of the University of Ibadan and University College Hospital academic, clinical, professional, and administrative communities, our living legends here present to admit Professor Baiyeroju into their midst. And now, the chief celebrant of today, our own Professor Baiyeroju, Aderonke Baiyeroju, and her dear husband, children, family members, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is both an honor and joy to stand before you today to celebrate an extraordinary person, Professor Aderonke Mojisola Baiyeroju, on the occasion of her retirement from active service. Not only is she retiring today, she is also celebrating her 70th birthday. And we wish her a happy platinum birthday. Born into the family of late David Olatunde and Marian Olatunde Agbeja in Benin City, Nigeria in 1955, Professor Aderonke Mojisola Baiyeroju has distinguished herself as a trailblazer in her academic and professional journey. She obtained her MBBS degree from Ibadan in 1979 and proceeded to Tenet Institute of Ophthalmology in Glasgow, where she obtained Diploma in Ophthalmology of the Royal College of Surgeons of Ireland in 1982. A testament to our global recognition is the arrays of fellowships she gathered over the years. I will not bother to go over them again. Professor Baiyeroju started her career in the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan in 1987 and rose through the ranks to become a professor of ophthalmology in 1998. To date, she has served as an honorary consultant to the University College Hospital Ibadan, where she has trained several medical students and resident doctors in ophthalmology, and main subspecialty being pediatric ophthalmology and glaucoma. Within the University of Ibadan, she has served with utmost distinction as the head of the Department of Ophthalmology, Deputy Provost of the College of Medicine, Senate Representative and Vice-Chancellor's Representative on the University College Hospital Board of Management. And in 2021, she emerged as the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic of the University of Ibadan, a position she gracefully held up until her retirement today. She also served the West African College of Surgeons in many capacities, which I won't bother to enumerate again because of time. Professor Baiyeroju's most enduring legacy is the Pediatric Ophthalmology Unit that she established. What began as a single consulting room has blossomed into a beacon of hope for children across Nigeria. Under her guidance, the unit not only expanded services for cataract, glaucoma, and strabismus, but also trained a new generation of ophthalmologists who carry a dedication to communities far beyond Ibadan. Countless young eyes have found sight, and countless families peace of mind, thanks to her foresight and perseverance. She has run various grants in her career, which I won't bother to enumerate again because of time. Beyond academia, Professor Aderonke Baiyeroju distinguished herself as a keen sportswoman, winning numerous medals in various competitions, including a gold medal in the high jump at the 1977 ECOWAS Games, and also rising to the Nigerian number 4 seed in squash racket in 1978. She was awarded the University of Ibadan scholarship for being the best female athlete all through her 5-year training as a medical student from 1974 to 1979, and was inducted into the University of Ibadan Sports Hall of Fame in 1990 for her outstanding contributions to the development of sports in the university. A devoted wife, mother, and grandmother, Professor Aderonke Mojisola Baiyeroju embodies humility and dedication. Our dear Professor Baiyeroju, we send you off with gratitude deeper than words can capture. May this well-earned retirement be filled with the adventure, rest, and bliss you deserve. May you finally have time to do all those wonderful things that add to it as you fueled your passion towards upholding excellence you have embodied in your 44 decades of service. You have shown us that true leadership seamlessly blends intellect with a heart for the people. Thank you for illustrating that a single individual driven by purpose can transform a nation's health. And most of all, thank you for being our colleague, our advocate, and our friend. On behalf of the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, I thank you for your remarkable contributions and wish you a retirement as luminous and impactful as your career has been. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the provost is not done with his assignment here today. So provost, you may kindly please, is it to me or to them?
Apologies, I have not finished. That was just the first part of the Goodwill message. The second is to induct Professor Aderonke Baiyeroju into the Living Legend Hall of Fame. So I would please implore all our living legends in the College of Medicine to please come forward so that they can accept her into their community. The living legends know themselves. May I invite you, ma, to please come forward. This is a ritual in the College of Medicine to induct our retiree into this living legend community. We have, yes, and all our former provosts who are here. Yes, thank you. Our former provosts and the living legends, they are the ones to invite her and accept her into their community.
Congratulations. So who is doing it? The chairman of today, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the provost of the College of Medicine has given me the singular opportunity to welcome Professor Aderonke Mojisola Baiyeroju, my wife. She is married to an Ekiti Brigadier General. Even though I'm married to an Egba man, but I cannot forget my roots. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I believe these are just a few of the living legends, I think inaugurated by our past provost, beautiful lady, very energetic, etc., etc. So she's ordered us to come out. Aderonke, you know I love you specially. So I thank God for this opportunity. Thank you, sir. Oh. We love you. Congratulations. Congrats. I move to the side. Thank you. Yeah. I'm okay.
Please, a round of applause for these living legends as they go back to take their legendary seats. Can I have my lantern back, please? We warmly appreciate our living legends for inducting Professor Baiyeroju into the association of those that wake up when they are finished sleeping. For those of us who are believing God for that association, put your hands together for yourselves. Professor Aderonke Baiyeroju, congratulations. When the VC calls us 5 o'clock, Daddy will say, Kilo PF. That's life. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll briefly go to the item where the book that has been published to commemorate this very special occasion will be reviewed. Then we're going to launch it briefly. Then we get to present gifts. Oh, we are still on the Goodwill message. Mommy has put me on my toes, so I'm just running through. All right, the CMD, talking about the CMD of the College of Medicine, I would like to acknowledge a former of UCH, pardon me please, I'm used to College of Medicine. I would like to warmly acknowledge the presence of a former CMD of University College of Hospital, Professor Temitope Alonge. The celebrant, I understand one of your classmates is also here. She's the wife of Emeritus Professor Sam Omokodion, Ibadan, College of Medicine Alumni Association Worldwide. Please celebrate them, Emeritus Professor Sam Omokodion and his dear wife. It's on that note, I welcome Professor Olubukola Adesina to give a goodwill message on behalf of the Chief Medical Director of the University College Hospital. Please, a round of applause for her.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to rest on the already well-established protocol by the MC and the Provost. But please allow me to specially recognize a few individuals and groups. Allow me to specially recognize the celebrant of today, Professor Aderonke Mojisola Baiyeroju. Professor Aderonke Mojisola Baiyeroju is a teacher of teachers, a role model that many of us look up to, a mentor that will say, when I grow up, I want to be like that. Let me also recognize many of my teachers who are here in the audience. I think I'll be doing them a disservice if I do not recognize them. These are the academic giants, medical elders, the ones who blazed the trail that many of us now tread. Indeed, when you say standing of the shoulders of giants, they are the ones. I can see Professor Shokumbi, I can see Professor Mokodion, and I can see Professor Jengbede, Professor Lesemi, many of them who blazed the trail for us. I also want to recognize specially Chief Babajide Olatunde Agbeja. I recognize you, sir, and many like you stretch out a hand of help to the University College Hospital. The Spirit was moving you, sir. Because yes, the task is enormous, but we believe it is doable. Thank you so much, sir, and for many like you. I stand here before you representing the Chief Medical Director of the University College Hospital, Ibadan, Professor Jesse Abiodun Otegbayo, who was only yesterday called away to Abuja. And he just had to catch a flight yesterday on a national assignment. At this valedictory program, which is being held in commemoration of the 70th birthday and retirement of Professor Aderonke Mojisola Baiyeroju, today, Wednesday, 13th August 2025, here in Paul Hendricks Lecture Theatre. And it reads like this. I, Professor Jesse Abiodun Otegbayo, I am extremely excited as we will celebrate a dual milestone in the life of an exceptional woman, a distinguished academic, a revered ophthalmologist, a mentor, and a trailblazer. Professor Aderonke Mojisola Baiyeroju, on the occasion of her 70th birthday and a well-earned retirement from active service. Today is not just a celebration of years lived, but of a life dedicated to excellence, service, and vision in both the literal and symbolic sense, and a lasting legacy in pediatric eye care and ophthalmology in Nigeria. Professor Baiyeroju, born on the 13th of August 1955, from Atakumosa, local government area of Ilesha in Osun State. Her journey indeed has been one marked by grit, grace, and greatness. Her path into medicine and ultimately ophthalmology reflects the story of someone driven by compassion and purpose. Appointed as honorary consultant in the University College Hospital in 1987, and from that day forward, she has consistently demonstrated unwavering commitment to patient care, teaching, research, and institutional development. She served as a member of the Board of Management of the University College Hospital between 2014 and 16 as a representative of Senate, 2018 to 2021 as a representative of the Vice-Chancellor. Indeed, her footprints have been deeply embedded in the sands of our institution's history. Her illustrious career spans over 3 decades, marked by numerous achievements and contributions to the field of ophthalmology, particularly in pediatric ophthalmology and glaucoma. Her dedication to improving eye care has no doubt inspired countless individuals and paved the way for future generations. Professor Baiyeroju served not just with distinction, but with a level of empathy and quiet strength that made her a role model for many of us. She rose through the ranks, held several key leadership positions, mentored countless residents and fellows, and inspired future generations of eye care professionals, particularly in the specialized and often overlooked area of pediatric ophthalmology. The theme of today's event, Vision Begins Early, Building Statewide Systems for Pediatric Eye Care, is not overly timely but fitting. It echoes the heart of Professor Baiyeroju's professional philosophy that preventing childhood blindness and treating pediatric visual disorders early is a cornerstone for a healthy, productive life and society. Professor Baiyeroju understood long before it became a national conversation that childhood eye care cannot be an afterthought. She has advocated for systemic solutions from early screening programs to training of personnel to creating robust referral systems. Her voice and efforts have contributed significantly to the gradual development of a structure for pediatric ophthalmology within and beyond our hospital. As we honor her today, it is my hope and indeed my challenge that we do not let this theme end with this celebration. To our guest lecturer, we assure you that we will let it spur a renewed commitment across our hospital, the ministry, and institutions to institutionalize pediatric eye care. Professor Baiyeroju's legacy is one of impact and integrity. She exemplifies the spirit of service that defines the University College Hospital, Ibadan. Her name is synonymous with professionalism, humility, brilliance, and selfless leadership. Yes, please celebrate her. And beyond her clinical excellence, she's a woman of values. She has a smile on her face every time you see her. She has brought dignity to every position she holds. To the Department of Ophthalmology and to the entire university UCH family, her departure marks the end of an era. But thankfully, it is an era that has produced many more, equipped and inspired to carry the torch she lit. On a personal note, I, Professor Jesse Abiodun Otegbayo, wishes to express my deep appreciation and my admiration for your support, wisdom, and collegiality over the years. You are not just a leader, but you're a stabilizing force, quietly doing the hard work with minimal force and maximum impact. You have shown us all what it means to lead with vision and to serve with heart. Dear Professor Mojisola Baiyeroju, as you step into this new phase of life, may it bring you continued peace. May it bring you joy. May you find fulfillment. Retirement for someone like you is not an end, but a well-deserved transition into a different rhythm of life. A life that I have no doubt will still involve mentoring, advising, and contributing meaningfully to humanity. And so, on behalf of the Honorable Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohamed Ali Pate, the management that are fully represented here with the DA, Head of Finance, and all the DCMACs, all our staff, students, and our esteemed patients, I say a big thank you to you, ma, for your years of meritorious service, for the lives you have touched, for the vision you have given, both literally and figuratively, and for the legacy you leave behind. Happy 70th birthday. Congratulations on your retirement. And may your vision remain ever clear and your path ever bright. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We move on to the last Goodwill message before we review the book briefly. And before we do that, I want to acknowledge the presence of the bossa of our university, Mr. Adewoye Popoola. It's on that note I welcome the Dean of Faculty of Clinical Sciences, Professor Taiwo Lawal, to give the very last Goodwill message at this occasion. Thank you.
Vice-Chancellor, all management staff of the University College of Medicine, as well as the hospital, our revered living ancestors, the celebrant of today, and the entire family, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure to be here to speak on behalf of the Faculty of Clinical Sciences on this momentous occasion. Professor Baiyeroju taught us as medical students ophthalmology with a zeal that was geared towards recruiting us into our world. And she succeeded in convincing nearly a dozen of my classmates to choose that specialty. Professor Baiyeroju has mentored several academics and clinicians over the past 38 years. She's so much gifted to listen and to advise. She's the perfect mentor in a university community. She can pick the tiniest details that others have missed on the need to speak to someone, which is quite needed in this our community. You can always be certain of her prompt and confidential attention to any matter that you take to her. Professor Baiyeroju is a compassionate clinician. She's a pediatric ophthalmologist, so of course on Monday that she operates, we also operated. So you could see, and sometimes we walk into her suit. She had a towering presence, and she bestowed the world of pediatric ophthalmology in the West African region as a colossus. Our operating sessions were marvelous, full of teaching and training, and beautifully, she has reproduced herself successfully multiple times in the field of pediatric ophthalmology. I had the pleasure of working closely with Professor Baiyeroju over the past 12 months as the Dean. As the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic, she was instrumental to the daily pursuits of deans at the University of Ibadan. She operated an open door policy. And regardless of the constant question from our secretary that, do you have an appointment, which I hardly ever had, I saw her anytime she was in the office, even if to pop in and say hello whenever she was very, very busy. She accorded me that special place. She would say, my dean, and the best dean in the university. Thank you, ma'am. She was deeply motivated to push forward the agenda of the Vice-Chancellor on the promotion of staff. I encountered her interactions with assessors on many occasions, external assessors, where she exhibited the attributes of a benevolent servant leader, swallowing her pride. Because sometimes the assessors, when she calls, they say, who's it? Who do you want to talk to? Until she introduces herself, and I say, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I'm so sorry, ma'am. Thank you for all you did to advance promotion of staff at the University of Ibadan. On student welfare, she went beyond the call of duty many times. It's not surprising that the student union president is there. You will not understand what this woman has done to the welfare of students over the last 4 years, except you are involved. Professor Baiyeroju will be missed at the Faculty of Clinical Sciences and indeed at the University of Ibadan. But we know that you are still with us. We wish you many more great years of joy and happiness in sound health as you retire from the services of the institution. May I please request you to come forward so we can make this presentation. And while I'm doing that, may I invite all provosts, deans, and directors, members of the committee, provosts, deans, and university to please file out to make a second presentation. Now, no, that was the second one. This one I present on behalf of the Faculty of Clinical Sciences. On this, your occasion of 70th birthday and retirement from the services of the University of Ibadan and University College Hospital on 13th August 2025, we appreciate your immense contributions to the faculty and wish you abundant happiness and more grace in retirement. Congratulations, ma'am. Thank you. The provost of Postgraduate College, I could see up to 20 deans and directors were here, and some are online as well. Dean of Students, okay, good. She has been instrumental to a lot of what we have done over the last several years. Please come, all deans and directors. Thank you. As many as can make it here. Thank you. Provost.
It's like I should be retiring today too. Well, distinguished, a big honor for me to represent this group of distinguished administrators in the university, academic administrators. This is Committee of Provosts and Deans and Directors of the University of Ibadan. We have all worked and interacted closely with Professor Baiyeroju for as long as each of us has been on the saddle in our different units or departments or faculties and the college. And we are very engaging, a mother, and like we have heard from different Goodwill messages, somebody who is a mentor to many of us. So on behalf of this group here present, and those who are not here, some are online, some have traveled, unavoidably they cannot be here. So we'd like to present this token from this body, COPPD, to our retiring but not tired Professor Aderonke Baiyeroju. And we all appreciate all that you have done, not just for the University of Ibadan, but the grace, the candor, the humility that you have brought into this office as the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academics. Everybody appreciates your presence and your willingness. You're always available, and you have made the job very easy for all of us. So on behalf of all of us, we present this token to you, and we wish you a blessed retirement. Thank you very much.
A round of applause for the Committee of Provosts, Deans, and Directors. You didn't invite the VC to take picture with you. I wonder if this gift has been ratified by the management. So Deans, please come back for the VC to take a picture with you.
Apologies. Sincere apologies to the Vice-Chancellor, the Deputy Vice-Chancellors, and the Registrar. Please join us. We are going to take the picture again. No, it's just one. Take another picture for now. I am being reminded that the Vice-Chancellor is the chairman of the COPDD, so apologies for that omission. I think before the picture, I think it's normal that the Vice-Chancellor should say something.
Well, the Vice-Chancellor said many things earlier, but I can add to it. You know, we are going to miss Ms. Baiyeroju for a number of things. One of those things that when we have inaugural lectures and all that, on the high table, she's a distributor of sweets and candies. And of course, she's, well, there's this one she usually brings from the UK, Fisherman's Friend. Okay. And of course, she's the official supplier of my almond and chocolates. So before we leave here today, she's going to tell me how I'll be getting my almond and chocolates. And on a final note, there's a fellowship we have every afternoon. And there's something we share. We call it materials. And I also did this, I read that I'll make materials available tomorrow. And she said, how do I get my own? I said, you are retired. By that time, you are no longer my responsibility. But then just to tell us that she's a jolly good fellow.
Actually, this was supposed to come up later, but I told the deans that what for Baiyeroju. That's why they have brought this forward. Professor Baiyeroju, 1 minute, please. Professor Bala, just because they are here, I would like Professor Ofo to present his gifts and just take pictures with you from the Directorate of Affiliated Institutions. She is the chairman of the board of affiliated institutions. So other deans can go take their seats while Professor Ofo presents the gift.
Thank you very much. This is coming from the Directorate of Affiliated Institutions in recognition of your unwavering support, dedication, and service to the Directorate. We thank you so much for providing leadership and for all the good virtues that you have taught us. May the good Lord continue to bless your post-retirement years. Congratulations.
Please, a round of applause so you may kindly take your seat. So quickly, please, I would like to note particularly that if you leave this place without hearing a response from the celebrant, you didn't come here at all. So please, let's wait till that point to hear the voice that I believe should be sounding on CNN today, because that's the kind of voice she has So if she wasn't a global ophthalmologist, she'd be a global broadcaster. So you don't want to miss that voice for the last official time in the University of Ibadan. Please join me to welcome Professor Oluwatoyin H. Onopoya, a consultant ophthalmologist from the Obafemi Awolowo University, to review the book briefly. Thank you.
The chairman, Chief Babajide Agbeja, Vice-Chancellor, ably represented by the DVC admin, and other key staffs of the University of Ibadan, the Provost of the College of Medicine, Chief Medical Director, Deans, Professors, Special Guest of Honor, Guest Lecturer, and indeed the celebrant herself and our Baba, Baiyeroju. I am deeply grateful to the organizers of this program for choosing me as one of Mama's numerous mentees and trainees in ophthalmology to review her book. While she was training me, I happened to also be attending the same church and center with her, that is the New Covenant Church, Samonda. It was also Professor Baiyeroju that gently prodded my husband and I in 2007 to pay and become life members of the West Africa College of Surgeons. It was a huge amount of money, but somehow we did it, and we are extremely grateful that we did. The book called Sublimely Blessed is an autobiography of the celebrant today. Sometimes you see the title of a book and you need to get a dictionary out. We've heard a lot about the author, Professor Aderonke Baiyeroju, and her parents who received her as a gift sometime 70 years ago. I would like to join others to see that we are talking about the same author who is full of many successes. You want to talk of her as a sportswoman, as a teacher, as a trainer or mentor, as an ophthalmologist. Her administrative powers goes far back beyond what she is now. We enjoyed her a lot in the Journal of Ophthalmology. Of course, as a family woman, if you were seeing Mama Baiyeroju at the West African College of Surgeons conference anywhere, you are seeing Baba. Of course, that helped some of us to get our husbands very interested in ophthalmology. She's obviously a woman of faith, which you could notice in the topic of the book. Blessing usually will be referring to divine favor. She feels extremely blessed. Now we go to the book. It is written in prose, very lovely, simple English, simple to read, with a lot of clarity. And it's really with a lot of truth, sincerity, gratitude, because she does not just talk about the good parts. Have you heard where people say African parents never fail exams? She didn't hide that in this book. The book is 206 in page numbers. It also has the forewords, dedication, but the main part of the book is actually written in 5 parts and with an addition of reflection, for which many people will be very grateful. The 5 parts are as listed, and I will briefly go through one of them. She spoke about herself being born with a silver spoon. Do you know that there are some students today that may not understand what it means to be born with a silver spoon? Because those are literary adages that seem to be going out. She talked about her roots. Not many people have spoken about her as a historian, but you need to read that book. Do you know the meaning of Elisha? Some people think it means Ile Orisha. You will find the truth in this book. She boasted exceedingly about the who is who of Ijesha land, and she spoke lovingly, glowingly about her father as a hero. It seems first girl child usually feel like that, but hers is very different. A very disciplined man, being least supportive. If you read the book, you will see areas where many parents could have failed, and we may not have had her as a doctor here, but you see the very loving support of the dad. She spoke about her mom, very frugal, disciplined, but then, can you imagine why will visitors just hear once a day, and have to jump a fence? You'll see it in that book. She wrote about her amazing siblings. We've seen one of them today. We agree that it's really amazing. Amazing housemates that plotted a lot. You will see how, can you imagine a rich kid hawking cola nuts? And somehow they gathered among themselves and named one of them Republic. Who will name a child Republic? No one chooses the family they are born into. She was born into that family. Life happened. Whether it's with silver spoon or wooden spoon or no spoon, the blessing is learning that whatever happens, you can still be blessed and you can go on. Part 2, she narrated Chasing the Golden Fleet, talking about how she went to primary school till all the qualifications she has to be what she is today. Who is a tomboy? When a girl behaves like she has testosterone, then you start calling her tomboy. Can you imagine in primary school? You know, there are these boys in primary school that can be bullies. Can you imagine? You know how primary school people look like? Very small. And one happened to try our auto. Have you seen the excreta of an agama lizard? How does a tomboy deal with a real boy? Gives him excreta of agama lizard to eat, and the boy won't become gentle. She went to secondary school, speaks glowingly about her different, highly esteemed secondary school, but she's very grateful for a certain teacher that looked at her and said, your legs are long, you should do sports. We've heard a lot about how she went on being an excellent sportsman, but it came because she had this blessing of a teacher, noticed her, encouraged her, and her parents also helped her. She spoke about her A-levels. I'm bringing that out because it looked like a real travel. But she came out saying that she learned to focus. She felt she failed the A-levels at her first attempt, but was that she didn't get enough to enter into the prestigious University of Ibadan. Her dad supported her desire and helped her gently to focus, to redo the exam, and here we are. We have the woman who triumphed through medical school. She feels blessed with the guidance, and it's instructive when you see it in the book. Of course, medical school, she was super focused, having gone through that, and we see how she still went on to somehow sneak into sports within medical school. She specialized in Glasgow. There she told us she had never experienced the level of poverty she experienced while she was specializing. Born with a silver spoon, life happens. What happens when you lose a loved one, someone you consider a hero? Does that mean all is gone? Does it mean you can't go on? You will find here how she was able to go through. She attributes it to faith, resourcefulness, and indeed, while she was actively moneyed, she chose to go for a competition, and she won a gold medal. Who can remember Sketch? Her name came out as the girl of courage because she ran when her dad just passed on, and she won the gold medal. We see tenacity. She spoke about marriage and family life. At a point, she put lessons for marriage. I would say marriage counseling. We will see there her journey to choosing this amiable papa. how she coped with the difference in their ways of looking at life, the extreme discipline of a military man. And here we have Daddy at 85, still fruitful and flourishing. The marriage lessons, the marriage counselings, you will have it there. Parenting together intentionally, you will find it in that book. She went on to talk about how she managed to balance work and home, having to cater for the children, her husband, and still progressing professionally. And she looks back and she's happy that that was done right, looking at her children and her grandchildren, indeed, extremely blessed. In part 4, she looked at her professional accomplishments, particular attention paid to progression in the field of medicine. She reeled out with gratitude to her mentors, some of them that are seated here today. She mentioned the grants and this annual ritual of traveling every year, which she wrapped around family holiday, making sure nothing was missing. The influence that her parents gave her that led her to being very good with administration, wanting to know, what can I do better? Even as a child, we help a child to recognize that administration doesn't mean Vice-Chancellor administration. You start from being a child, her administrative activities in her professional bodies, as a deputy provost and now deputy vice-chancellor. Blessed indeed. This was the last part. She makes it clear that it is last but not the least. If you read the book, she was born into a family of faith. Came a time when she had to make the personal decision for her faith, when she made a personal commitment to the Lord Jesus Christ and began to pay intense attention to the Word of God and intentional prayers, wanting to know the will of God and stay in it. She acknowledged spiritual mentor, which she says her pastor is more than that, who of course became a family, a mentor, a spiritual mentor to the family till date. She spoke about what faith in Christ meant to her, how she believes her way of life will witness for her in addition to speaking, how she believed in forgiveness over retaliation or getting evil. She mentioned a particular challenge where it seemed that her faith was in doubt. She had a period of doubt, but she stayed through the doubt. And she told us clearly that she wanted to get married earlier. In fact, her mother has said at the time that if a girl is not bothered about getting married, she needs her head examined by a psychiatrist. I wonder what the psychiatrist would have done to that head. But thankfully, her answer came. I haven't waited for a while. She spoke about balancing the ministry, that is her service because of her faith in Christ, and her family. And she left us in that part 5 with 7 powerful must-read lessons. Those lessons will show you how blessed she is to have known that, and how blessed you are to know it and to begin to walk in it. Autobiographies are usually written by authors for themselves and about themselves. I would like to say thank you, Ma, for adding the point of reflection, because when you're talking about, you are like a sheet of an addition where men and women, I am here looking to look and find the people that have been collecting chocolates and almonds, but DVC has mentioned himself as one of them. And men and women, her family members, her workplace colleagues and superiors, church leaders, friends, old classmates spoke glowingly about her. And you will see that really it's been 70 years of blessing. This book, Sublimely Blessed, details the author's impression of her travels and triumphs through life, put in all simplicity and godly sincerity. It is a very inspirational book. It reels with sense of gratitude to God, to men and women around her, making it obvious that she feels extremely favored. There are exceptions. This is a book that you can number to others. Who should read this book? Everyone. Parents, intending parents, grandparents, boys and girls, school libraries, church libraries, and permit me to also thank the Lord God Almighty for giving us a gift in Professor Aderonke Mojisola Baiyeroju. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for us, as I present to you this book, Sublimely Blessed, an autobiography written by no other than the celebrant of today. Thank you.
Please, you can do it better for Professor Oluwatoyin Onokboya for such a beautiful and mouth-watering review of this autobiography. You will agree with me that she has been adequately mentored by Professor Baiyeroju. That voice. We want to thank you, ma, for this book. I'm wondering if I can write about myself in 1 year, or how to document that. It's a copy we all should get. Ladies and gentlemen, we have chief launchers, co-launchers, MC launcher, everybody launcher here today. We are all launchers. And the chief launcher is going to step forward first to make a proclamation. A handsome one, because he's an handsome man. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Chief Babajide Olatunde Agbeja.
Thank you very much. All that I've heard about my sister today, it's all I've known all the while. But I thought it was only a few of us that knows who she really is. But now I'm jealous that all of you know who she is. And more importantly, you share in the chocolates and the almonds. We're a sweet tooth family. So we love our chocolates, our biscuits, and cheesecake. Now, before I launch this book, we've been challenged here today. I would love to, on behalf of her family, we have a foundation, David and Miriam Agbeja Foundation, in honor of our parents. And this is the first time 5 of the trustees members are here. Only one is missing. He's in Buckingham, and he couldn't make it today. So I would like to invite the chairman of the foundation up and the trustees. Oh, Kule is here, online. Kule. I don't believe this. Ulu. So we're complete. Can we have all the foundation members, the trustees? Chairman, please come up. Punto, Feshayo, Omawale. They are the grandchildren of David and Miriam Agbeja. So the grandchildren are in charge of the foundation, but of course, ably led by my better half, my wife. She is the chairperson of the foundation. So I'm sure you will allow me, without consulting with you, I'm sure you will allow me. Yes, we've been challenged. I threw the challenge. And our main lecturer, facilitator, now threw back the challenge at me. So to start with, the David and Miriam Agbeja Foundation will continuously support the ophthalmology department until we get everything we need. So to start today, we will donate $10,000 to buy some of the equipment for that department. Thank you. Let me also call somebody up. We have one of the family members, the last born in the family. She has donated every month for the past 7 years that we started the foundation. Every month. Remy, please come up. Mrs. Remy Williams. So the foundation receives donation, and we send indigent students to school. As of today, I think how many have we sent to school? 45. No, how many are in school now? 45, but some have graduated. Okay, so about 50 indigent students that we don't know the family, we don't know them. We just do an exam for them every year. We invite them from the local schools, and we send 5 to school every year. And we now choose 1 male, 1 female to send to university, the best of the 5 every year. So we will start with the $10,000, and Professor Baiyeroju will monitor what they will buy, what they need as they need. And we'll also get our friends to support that on an annual basis. Thank you very much. Thank you. I hope there is no objection. Trustees, no objection. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not done yet. Now to the main reason why we are here. You see, it's good to be challenged. And that is why I want to appeal to all of you that can afford it. Please, please, just give. Just give. The more you give, the more you get. Just keep giving, because we are challenged in the country by bad leadership. The country is blessed. They were blessed, and we should be smiling, but we're not. Unfortunately, we're not. So anyone that can, please join us to develop the ophthalmology department of UCH. Aderonke Baiyeroju. Incidentally, all of you call Baiyeroju is Baiyeroju, or not O, Baiyeroju. Thank you. I didn't know you were this beautiful. But I know that you are so blindly blessed. Since you are a child, yes, you are my senior, but I keep running after you. Anything you touch turns to gold. But you are, thank you. But you are difficult to convince. What you don't want to do, nobody can make you do it. Nobody. Yeah. So that I know. Okay? So you are sublimely blessed. I would love, I need to open this, right? Okay. This is very good. I have 4 offices. So 1 would go to each of the libraries. So I'll take 4 copies for 2.5 million naira.
Please put your hands together for Chief Babajide Olatunde Agbeja. Professor Baiyeroju, I think somebody successfully forced you to make up today. They succeeded. Whoever did that, we celebrate you. Special information, ladies and gentlemen. The celebrant has asked me to announce, because when the first announcement was made, the HOD of ophthalmology sprang up like there's a spring in his knees. You will spring up one more time now, sir. The celebrant has asked me to announce that all the donations today is going to the Department of Ophthalmology. It's on that note, I want to invite one of the co-launchers who is a distinguished alumnus of our university from 360 Habitat. Join me to welcome Engineer Akikumi Ajisafe, FNSC, to come launch this book today.
Good day, everyone. Permit me to follow the established protocol, but the Vice-Chancellor, sir, because those are my benefactors. Well, in order not to take your time, well, Mama is so sweet, and usually she's the only one that usually call me Akinkumi in the whole of university. So on that basis, Akinkumi is about 9 alphabets. So on each alphabet, I'm going to give 500,000. So, and my wife is also from Malaysia. So I will add another 500,000. So in all, making 5 million naira. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a congratulations is in order to the HOD, right? Congratulations, sir. I hope it's not too late to get a first degree in that department. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to acknowledge some other co-launchers who are not here, but they've sent their handsome donations. Mr. Aswe Igodalo and Banwo and Igodalo have sent theirs. Prince Adeyinka Samuel Afonja, Chairman and CEO, Ace Group of Supermarkets Limited, has sent his donation also. Pro-Chancellor Chairman Governing Council of Lead City University, Professor Jide Oweye, has also done so. And the Senior Pastor of Trinity House, Professor Itwa Igodalo, has also launched, the book today with handsome donations. It's on that note we move on to wrap up today's occasion, but we can't do that without doing some significant activities. The first we are going to do is that I would invite members of the high table to hold a copy each of the book to take their group picture. Thereafter, we take one or two other presentation of gifts before we hear from the celebrant. So may I humbly request that distinguished members of the high table should pick a copy each to take an iconic group picture. I would like the bossa to join, and our former vice-chancellors should also join, Emeritus Professor Olufemi Baiyeroju and Bamiro, Professor Emeritus Professor Olufemi Bamiro, 360 Engineer Jishafe to join, Professor Ebelido Olayinka. Please, a round of applause for them. That's indeed an iconic moment in this occasion. I've been asked to inform everyone here today that the minimum donation today is 10,000 naira. That's the minimum. That's the minimum. And Professor Baiyeroju, please remain standing with your darling husband. I wonder why it took so long for me to know it's not Baiyeroju. I've been saying that all my life. Baiyeroju. Sincere apologies, ma. We have some special people that want to present gifts, ma. Because you are a mother of blessed children and blessed grandchildren, I'm going to start with your grandchildren. Some of them could pass for your great-grandchildren. And to lead them to present the next gift is the Students' Union and students of the University of Ibadan to present a token to you. Covenant Odedile and his team, can you please step forward to present your token to the celebrants of the day? I would also like to request that NIPOS, N-I-P-O-S, should get ready with their gifts in immediate succession. Women in ophthalmology, staff of the Department of Ophthalmology, and nurses in ophthalmology, just prepare, just present your gifts, take your picture, and we move on to get a response from.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I cannot stand on this existing protocol without recognizing all the distinguished guests who are here today. And I also have a few things to say in 2 or 3 minutes about our dear DVC academic. So, I mean, it's a very auspicious time for us in the Students' Union. Today, the DVC academic is retiring. Tomorrow also, our Dean of Students is the send-forth ceremony. So we would be having to, should I say bye, if that's the word, to 2 officers that we work closely with. To talk about our Professor Aderonke Baiyeroju. She is really an amazing person to work with. I remember the first time I saw the poster about her retirement, and I went to her office the next day, and I asked her, Ma, after your retirement, will you still be the DVC academic? Because, I mean, I can't imagine the fact that whenever we enter that office again, we'd see someone else. But, I mean, we're still happy to work with everybody. Also, I must say that our office is the most visited office, of course, after the Dean of Students. She is, of course, after the Dean of Students that we have to call every now and then. And she has always operated an open-door policy, always entertained our requests, always, I'll miss her calls, hello, Covenant, our mommy, our woman disturb me, and all of that. And to be honest, we on behalf of the students of the University of Ibadan, on behalf of the Executive Council, the Council of Leaders, and of course, every student represented here today, we want to say thank you for your commitment, your passion, your heart of love to students of University of Ibadan. And of course, we didn't get our chocolates, but of course, we will make sure that we get our chocolates before we leave today. So we are presenting this gift. We hope that every time you see it, it reminds you of the fact that you have inspired and been a blessing to thousands and thousands of students. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I never knew many people compete with the chocolate with Professor Olagbogba. You have also been eating chocolates. May I invite women in ophthalmology to come present their gifts too? Women in ophthalmology.
On behalf of women Ophthalmologists Nigeria, I stand here to honor and recognize a distinguished career. We've all listened, and a transgenerational legacy that our mommy, ever smiling, ever beautiful, has laid down. We're so privileged to have you, Ma. You have mentored several of us. I recall one day you called me to pay your full life membership West Africa. Many ways you keep calling, you keep encouraging us. we know you're still with us. Even though you are retiring, but we know you're not tired. So we present this on behalf of women in ophthalmology, and we say thank you for being who you are.
Okay, NIPOS next. Okay. Okay, NIPOS. All right, the pictures quickly. Thank you very much. You can pass through the other end. Through the other end, while I invite ophthalmology nurses. There are many of them. Wow. Please kindly move behind. Move behind them, please, so that we can have space for others. Thank you very much. Department of Ophthalmology, please come up the stage through the other end. Okay, you can come through this end. I'm delighted to note that Otuba and Otuba Mrs. Oshibogun have donated the whooping sum of 1 million naira as a donation to this book. So let's do that quickly. The Department of Ophthalmology, then the last but not the least, UCH Community Eye Unit would also present a gift. Thank you very much. UCH Community I Unit, can you please come forward to present your gift? I believe that's the last for this occasion. Other gifts can keep going in after now. Thank you very much. The celebrant and her husband would kindly sit for 1 minute before we bring you up for your response. Ladies and gentlemen, before we take response from the celebrant, I would like to invite Dr. Adigun, who is a consultant family physician. He has a poem to recite to herald the celebrant to give a response. Dr. Adigun, please.
Good afternoon. I titled my poem to our mama, the Vision Restorer at 70. Happy birthday, ma. Ẹyẹ bíntín báyìí kò gba igi lóko, ìyẹn lorúkọ tójú ń jẹ́ nílé ayé. Bá a ṣe ń wòran báyìí ní dúníyàn, ìran máa ń wo ni lóòyẹ̀ la fi sọ wípé ayé ti dìwò gbé ó. Èdùmàrè ẹ jọ̀wọ́ jàre ẹ̀bẹ̀ lábẹ̀, ẹ má ṣe gba òde ọ̀sán lójú gbogbo wa o, torí ojú tí a rí yẹn ni fìtílà ara wa. To our mama, the Vision Loss Restorer at 70, happy birthday and happy retirement life. To our mama, the Vision Loss Restorer at 70, Mama, Professor Aderonke Mojisola Baiyeroju the Great. Happy birthday to you, ma. To our mama, the mentor, so special. Happy birthday to you, ma. To our distinctive ophthalmologist, the wise one, happy birthday to you, ma. To the great child ophthalmologist, so passionate, happy birthday to you, ma. To our great mother, full of milk of kindness, happy birthday to you, ma. To a great team player within our Ibadan Premier University Management System, happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy 78th birthday, ma. And we all here are saying, farewell, farewell, as our very own erudite, great mother ophthalmologist, bowing out of the UI academic toga gloriously. Màámi àtàtà, ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Aderonke Mojisola Baiyeroju, oníṣègùn tọ́jú ojú ọmọdé tó dángájíá, tó pegedé, tó tún wá gbàwó fọ̀. Màmá àti wá pegedé lóko, wọ́n tún wá fi gbọ̀ọ̀rọ̀ jẹ kàlábà. Ọmọ bíbí Ìbòdì níléṣà, lórílẹ̀ ilẹ̀ tí a sà lẹ́sà ní tòótọ́, tí à ń pè ní Iléṣà, ibi tí Ọlọ́run wà. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ Ìjẹ̀ṣà, ọmọ ọwọ́ Òbòkúnrémi, ọmọ Ìjẹ̀ṣà òṣèré onílẹ̀ òbí, ọmọ ẹlẹ́ni àtẹ́ ẹ̀ka, ọmọ ẹlẹ́ni ẹwẹlẹ. Ìjà òṣèré nìyí o, ọmọ olówó àṣejèrè tí jẹ́ òṣó màálù gbà ní ilẹ̀ Ògèdèǹgbé, agbógungbòrò, akíkanjú akọni lójú ogun, ilẹ̀ ibi tí Ọlọ́run ń gbé nígbàkúùgbà àti nígbà gbogbo. Màámi Aderonke Baiyeroju Mojísọ́lá, akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ oníṣègùn ojú ọmọdé tó dáńtọ́, àgbàlagbà onímọ̀ ìtọ́jú ojú tó mòye pẹ̀lú làákàyè. Ẹ kú ayẹyẹ ọjọ́ ìbí 70 ọdún lónìí o. Lókè èrùpẹ̀ láyé, orí dákun jẹ́ kí ẹ pẹ́ láyé o. Elédùmarè jẹ́ kí ẹ pọ̀ láàárọ̀ o. Nínú ọlá, nínú ọlà, nínú àlàáfíà tó péye, pẹ̀lú ẹ̀mí gígùn tí bá ní sànyà tá a fi rí tàn rere pa, lágbára lọ́wọ́ Olódùmarè. Ọba aláàánú, ayérayé, àlà funfun gbò, onímọ̀lẹ̀, ìrèlé ayérayé, ire, àṣẹ, 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 àṣẹ ní tèdùmarè. Mo bá jẹ́ ẹ ṣàjọyọ̀ o, mo bá jẹ́ ẹ ṣàjọyọ̀ o. Ẹrú ọwọ́ o, mo bá jẹ́ ẹ ṣàjọyọ̀ o. Mo bá jẹ́ ẹ ṣàjọyọ̀ o, mo bá jẹ́ ẹ ṣàjọyọ̀ o. Ẹrú ọwọ́ o, mo bá jẹ́ ẹ ṣàjọyọ̀ o.
Dr. Adigun there, a consultant family physician. Please put your hands together for him one more time. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the time we have been waiting for has come. I've been wondering, and I would have been disappointed if Professor Baiyeroju did not get a pillow today. Finally, she got one, because we know she will be sleeping a lot now. So she has gotten herself a very lovely pillow there. Professor Bangoshe is admiring it. Yours will come in Jesus' name. Ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation, kindly welcome the celebrant of today, the quintessential, the dynamic, erudite, and beautiful Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic, who is gracefully retiring today to give a response, Professor Aderonke Mojísọ́lá Baiyeroju.
Please sit down. Please sit down. Thank you. Dayo is a naughty boy. I'm actually a bit overwhelmed by what I see today. Because I don't count myself as having done anything, honestly. Because when I come to serve, I feel I don't need any thank you. Just serve and give God the glory. So I want to, first of all, give glory to God. Because without him, I wouldn't be here. Yes, I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, but my dad died when he was 54. I had just finished A-levels. I was waiting to go into medical school. So you can imagine how our world crashed. At a point, my mom had 3 of us in university, and it was difficult for her to cope as a senior matron at the Aderonke hospital. She had to retire to go into selling Coca-Cola, because then Coca-Cola made a lot of money. And when it's hammer time, she would go to Kaduna, buy Coca-Cola, and just haulage it down to Ibadan. And she made a lot of money, and she was able to send her to school. But even at that, we didn't have enough. The university gave me scholarship for 5 years because I was a hurdler, I was a high jumper. But I know that even at that point, we still needed help. So if God hadn't been there for me, honestly, I will not be here today. So to God be the glory. I want to thank my husband. He gave me wings to fly. honestly. He allowed me to be what I wanted to be, an academician. I wrote papers, I did research. He made sure, he prayed. The man is a prayer, anyway, he's a reverend. He's a prayer warrior. He prayed until, even when I became a professor, he said, you can still make impact. And to God be the glory, we still make that impact. So I thank my husband. I want to thank my group of friends in the university, the Vice-Chancellor, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration, Deputy Vice-Chancellor RISP, the Registrar, the University Bursar, and the University Librarian. We're a family. I really enjoyed working with them. And I want to thank them specially for who you are and for that man that leads us, that shows us the way to go, the Vice-Chancellor. He would just say, Mamami, ilatumashi, and we'll sit down and decide what to do. It's been wonderful working with them. So I really thank them. I want to thank my Department of Ophthalmology. I mean, when you look around, you see what this department has done. They have done me proud. I'm so happy, honestly. Thank you to the head of department and everyone in the department. To the youngest of the residents, all of them worked hard and contributed towards this. I want to thank my COPDD members, Committee of Provosts, Deans, and Directors of the University of Ibadan. Thank you very much for being amiable. I only needed to go to meetings with requests, and they were always willing to help. There were times we had difficult calendars, and we had to shrink the calendar just to ensure that our students who got first class would be seen as graduating in 4 years. Because when a first-class student spends 5 years in the university, they don't get scholarships. Because the donors would say, no, you cannot be a first-class student because you spent 5 years. So we had to shrink the calendar to ensure that they could finish within 4 years. Thank you, COPDD. I want to thank my women scientists. Look at them. There are about 8 rows of women scientists. OWSD. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And to your living legends, all the life members, thank you very much. Thank you very much. On the platform, when they were saying, oh, who is going to come to represent the OWSD? And I saw the numbers growing. I thought maybe about 10 or 15 of them would come. By the time we got to 30, 40, 50, I thought, oh my goodness, is it the whole group that's coming? I'm very grateful to you. Thank you very much. I want to thank my classmates from medical school, from St. Anne's School, Ibadan. You're all here. I want to thank you, Lord, I want to thank you for all you have done to support me through my journey. I want to thank my mentors. 2 of them are sitting here today. Please, I need them to stand up. Professor Onyoluri, Professor Olabokpo Oshutokun. Please just stand up, Maz. Emma Binu. They're both over, but one is over 90, the other one is knocking 90. Thank you so much, Maz. Thank you. Thank you, Ma. Thank you. When I decided I wanted to stay back in Scotland and work, my mom and Professor Shutokun, I don't know how my mom convinced Professor Shutokun. He just said, oh, could you just visit? We're not asking you to come back, just visit. And I thought, okay, I'll come. I visited, and I got a letter of appointment. So I had to go back and pack and come back home. Thank you very much. When I was young, I wanted to be like Professor Oluri, because then she was the most smartly dressed doctor in UCH. And she still wears her heels, even at 92, she still wears her heels. As she walks around the corridor, we all look at her and think, I want to be like that woman. I want to be like that woman. But believe it or not, you'll read more about her in my book. She is a wonderful mentor. And Professor Tokun, thank you very much for all you have done. I want to thank the Students' Union government. SUG, I call them, they're my children. There's some baby faces, there's some handsome men, and there's some pretty girls. Thank you very much. They gave us all the support they could muster. Not just from this SUG, that's the Students' Union government, but from previous ones. They were excellent. They were kids that you would like to take home and say, this is my son, this is my daughter, because they were really good. Thank you very much for all you do. I want to thank my church family. My national overseer is here, Reverend Abimbola Oladipo and his wife. Please stand up for recognition. Thank you very much for leading us. Thank you so much. You give us the bread of life. Thank you. Brother Paul has actually sent us a message to say, enjoy yourselves, and we sent him the link to watch the proceedings on YouTube or Zoom. Thank you very much. I want to thank my children and grandchildren. They're all here today. My children and grandchildren, please stand up. They've come from all over the world. Canada, the USA, UK, them and their spouses. Please stand up. Thank you very much. And the Lagos ones, the Ibadan ones, all my grandchildren, they're here. Thank you very much. If they didn't give me a peaceful home, I wouldn't be able to thrive. They were easy to bring up, and I'm grateful to God for them. Thank you. I want to thank my extended family. The Baiyerojus are represented by Dr. and Mrs. Davis Jones. Thank you. Please stand up. Mrs. Davis Jones, that's my husband's junior sister. She was a deputy, she retired as a deputy controller of immigration. When you see her, you think she's soft. Just see her at work. She's not soft. Thank you very much. She's actually coming from the US to grace this occasion. Thank you very much, Mommy Sheo. Thank you. We call her Big Mommy. Thank you very much. The Agbejas, they are here. I've seen some of them. Thank you very much. The Olunugas, please just, Agbejas, Olunugas, they're there, yes. Thank you very much. I'm grateful to you all for all the support. It's nice to have an extended family you can depend on. Thank you very much. Now I want my siblings to stand up. The Oshiboguns, the Olatunde Agbejas, the Williamses. Please stand up for recognition. My big sister, Erelu Olusholabada, is not able to attend because she just lost her husband. But she's well represented. So my siblings and their children, thank you very much. It was tough growing up with them because I always thought that I was the ugly one in the family. Because I had one that was called Miss Nigeria. That's her standing there. She's still as pretty as ever. I was always jealous of her. Thank you very much. God bless you. And I want to thank our in-laws. Professor Motosho came in from Ilorin this morning. And then the Kufoniyis. Please just stand up. Please just stand up. Now, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm told. Mrs. Dukwe Baiyeroju, Kenny Baiyeroju, are you here? Oh, please stand up. Thank you very much. They are the other Baiyerojus. My brother's late junior sister, junior brother. That's the wife and the son. Thank you very much. Two of you have come from far, and I'm grateful for what you're doing. They give me all the support I need. I just need to ask, and they will deliver. Thank you so much. I want to say a big thank you to all of us who are here today, from the university, from the UCH, all the principal officers. I know I'm not supposed to give a vote of thanks, but I just had, you know when something is bubbling in your tummy, you look around and you're saying, he's here, she's here, wow, thank you. I thank you so much, And I just say, as you go, may the peace of the Lord go with you. Thank you.
A big one for the celebrant. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, it's on that note, I want to say on behalf of the husband of the celebrant, she wasn't just giving wings to fly, she was giving money to fly. Did I speak your mind, sir? Yes. I'm a good son. I was there. Celebrate the first man. Because Daddy, I'm also helping somebody to fly at home. Ladies and gentlemen, this event wouldn't be holding today if we didn't have a committee that put this together. The chairman of that committee will come up to give a vote of thanks. You want me to welcome Dr. Mary Ogalai to do that?
The Vice-Chancellor, sir, ably represented by the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration, the celebrant and her husband, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the LOC and the Department of Ophthalmology, I sincerely thank you for the gift of your time, your presence, and your support, collectively and individually. Without you, we could not have given our very dear mentor and teacher such a memorable valedictory program and a birthday celebration. Our deepest appreciation to the volunteers and all the people behind the scene. It is said, and I quote, "Good friends are those who ignore the broken fence to admire the flowers in the garden." Thank you for being such wonderful friends to us. I also personally thank all the members of the LOC for their efforts and sacrifices towards this occasion. May the good Lord reward you abundantly. Amen. And may the joys of today remain fresh in our memories for a very long time. Finally, I bid you safe travels as you return to your various destinations. Go safely. Amen. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's on that note I would like to request that we all rise up on our feet to take the College of Medicine anthem, the University of Anthem, then the national anthem.
Ibadan College of Medicine, hit the call. The train has for the call. Training, bringing up to date, knowledge for all. To God and creator we learn to
Please a round of applause for member of the high table as they take their leave. While I request the latest couple to come forward as we take latest couple now. Who is the latest retiree? Latest couple. Please put your hands together for Daddy. Congratulations. So, members of the high table first. Let's just take a quick picture. All executives of ABH, you are coming in next immediately after this to present your gift and take your picture. Then we go with the order of photograph that we have on the program. Please, as I call these groups, once you take your picture, kindly step down the platform for the next set to come up. All executives of ABH led by the All Chair, come forward, present your gifts. Right, present your gifts. Pictures, please. All right. Let them join. After then, I'll request immediate family members, siblings and extended families to join up here. Immediate family members, siblings and extended families, please join up here to take group pictures. Immediate family members, please, siblings and extended family. Okay, while we wait for family members, OWSD, please come up quickly. Are you ready? Okay, family members, quickly. OWSD, you are next. Family members, quickly, quickly. Siblings and extended families. Then we go to OWSD. Family members, quickly, let's set for the pictures so that others can take theirs. Test. Please, if you have taken your picture, can you please step down the platform? The management of University College Hospital is taking their shots now. If you have taken your picture, please step down the platform. Have we had St. Anne's School classmates? Old girls, St. Anne's School classmates, kindly join to take your pictures. I hope the old girls of St. Anne's have taken their picture. I would like to call clergymen, pastors, members of New Covenant Church to please come forward. May I request, if you have taken your picture, please step down from the platform. So that's St. Anne's old girls, please. After this set, New Covenant Church will take their pictures. Pastors, members, if you have taken your photograph, please step down from the platform so it won't be congested. New Covenant Church, pastors, leaders, and members, thank you, old girl. Bóyá òyìnbó tí mò ń sọ pọ̀ jù, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, àwa tá bá ti ya fọ́tò, ẹ jẹ́ á sọ̀kalẹ̀, so that àwọn ìtókù, àwọn tó next á lè ráyè ya fọ́tò wọn. So New Covenant Church pastors, leaders, and members, please join. Are you people there? Okay, consultant and association, just take them. Friends of the celebrant. Consultant association will take theirs after the church. Then friends of the celebrant. Medical and dental consultants, you are next, then friends. Medical and dental consultants, then friends. Please, if you have taken your picture, please step down from the platform. After friends, extended families should please step up to take theirs. MD Khan, you have taken your pictures, right? Oh yeah, take it quickly. I see the friends are waiting. Àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ onínáwó, thank you very much. After friends, extended family members will join. Friends, take your pictures quickly, then extended families. Extended family members after friends. All right, extended family members, please. Extended family members. Family members, please. Family members, extended family members, please. Extended family members, please.
Mommy, please, can we come? Thank you. Embratunde Muyiwa, Sister Fumi, can you please come to the center? Thank you. Dr. Jones, can you please come to the center? Thank you. Bratunde, we're waiting for you. Oh, Muyiwa is here, Muyiwa is here. Thank you. Who else have we got? Fantastic. Professor Motosho, thank you, sir. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
All ophthalmologists, all ophthalmologists, all ophthalmologists. Dr. Ejadwala, come down, come down. All ophthalmologists. All ophthalmologists. Dr. Adeyemo. All ophthalmologists, quickly, 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 quickly. Ophthalmologists, ophthalmologists. Dr. Ogalai, quickly, get to the stage, get to the stage. Dr. Babalola, Dr. Adeyemo, get on the stage, please. Thank you. Dr. Swiss, please get on the stage. Hold on, ophthalmologist, hold on.